Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. I hope that all of you are in good condition. So today I would like to present my presentation entitled Authentic Assessment, and especially it is in English language teaching. So without any further ado, let's get started. There will be six parts in this presentation. The first is introduction. The second one is definition. The third one is comparison. The fourth one is consideration. And the fifth one is options. And the last one is challenges faced when performing authentic assessment. Okay, the first part will be introduction. So in this part, let me have a little review about what is assessment. Assessment is the systematic basis for making inferences or consideration about the learning and development of students. It is the process of defining, selecting, designing, collecting, analyzing, interpreting, and using information to increase students' learning and development. It is fundamental to do because um, it is allows teacher to evaluate their students' progress, capabilities, and also their responsibilities. And then the next part, we are coming with definition. Actually, when we are talking about assessment, there will be two main categories, authentic assessment and traditional assessment. But now we are focusing on what is authentic assessment. According to O'Malley in 1997 and Brown in 1996, authentic assessment refers to the process of assessing students' competence or abilities in a setting that is as similar as possible to the actual world or to real life or to the reality. It is integrating learning and assessment to ensure that students' needs are being met. So here, authentic assessment prepare students to face the reality with complex environment in social and also make them ready to solve it. And then I just said before about the traditional assessment. So what is the differences between traditional versus authentic assessment? Authentic assessment, the first is measure students' ability to apply knowledge of the content in real life situation, and then ability to use what they have learned in meaningful ways, and require students to demonstrate proficiency by performing relevant tasks related with what has been learned. And then the last one is provides opportunities for students to construct meaning or new knowledge outside what they have learned before. But in traditional assessment, measure students' knowledge of the content only, and then require students to demonstrate knowledge by selecting a response or giving correct answer. Usually test student proficiency through paper and pencil tests, such as multiple choice and true or false question. Require students to practice cognitive ability to recall, recognize, reconstruct body of knowledge that has been taught. It is actually a low order thinking skill, or we can call it LOT, when while the authentic assessment is HOT or high order thinking skills. And then we will come up with a question. Why should we use authentic assessment? The first reason is authentic assessment are direct measures and reflect real world situation. Means that we do not just want students to know the content of the discipline when they just graduated from the school. We of course want them to be able to use the acquired skills or knowledge in the school to be able to apply it in a real world. So our assessment have to tell us as a teacher if the student can apply what they have learned in authentic situation. If students does well on a test of knowledge, we might infer that student could also apply that knowledge. To return to an example, if I taught someone to play golf, I would not check what they have learned with just a written test or multiple choice. I will check them by make them or put them to the golf course and play golf. And then the second one is authentic assessment integrate teaching, learning, and assessment. Means that in the authentic assessment model, the same authentic task used to measure the student's ability to apply the knowledge or skills is used as a vehicle for students' learning. So, for example, when presented with a real world problem to solve, students are learning in the process of developing a solution. Teachers are facilitating the process. Here, teacher become a facilitator, and the student's solution to the problem becomes an assessment of how well the students can meaningfully apply the context of what they have learned before. And then we come with some option related with types of authentic assessment that we can use in our teaching and learning process. The first one is oral interviews, and then story or text retelling, writing samples, project or exhibitions, experiment or demonstration, constructed response items, teacher observations in the class or during the class, and then student portfolios. Those are some types of authentic assessment that can be applied in our classroom. However, both traditional and authentic assessment have their own challenges that should be considered. Here are several challenges in authentic assessment that we should be aware of. The first is authentic assessment must be structured well, or the application and result could become unpredictable. And unpredictability increases the potential for things going wrong, which may jeopardize students' chance to demonstrate their ability well to solve the problem or to face the real world situation. And then creating and applying an authentic assessment is time consuming and resource intensive. That's why some teachers say in some articles that uh, creating or just preparing for authentic assessment is really make their time become so busy, even in the house or even in their home. Assessment tasks must be carefully articulated at the outset to help students manage course workload. And then I think that's all for my presentation. I hope that you get what I mean. I hope all of you understand what is authentic assessment, the benefit, and also the challenges. I think that's all. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi